وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا يَسْرِ, and the night when it begins to leave. Here at the end, the testimony of the night is presented, and it is qualified by the words إِذَا يَسْرِ, which focus our attention to the time when the night just starts to depart and the signs of dawn start to appear on the horizon. If one reflects on this in the light shed by parallel verses of the Qur'an, it reminds us of some very important facts. Firstly, a reminder of the fact that all the elements of this world are subservient to the Almighty. When the night comes, so great and so all-embracing is its hold that there seems no possibility for the day to appear. However, there does come a time when a white strip of light appears in this darkness and very soon dominates the night in such a manner that the sun appears and with it darkness disappears. Night does not have the power to stop this transformation. Secondly, the disappearance of night and the appearance of the day symbolizes the advent of the Day of Judgment for people who think that this day is a far-fetched reality. We have already explained this aspect in detail. Thirdly, it is a reminder for people who think that even if the Day of Judgment is to come, it is naive to remain fearful of it since it is far off. A reminder that this world has come as near its fate as the time which lapses between the time of daybreak and the appearance of the first rays of light which end the darkness of night. Man views this phenomena from his narrow vision and measures them from the seconds and minutes of his world. He is unable to understand that this world which has been providing for man and all kinds of beasts and animals will one day have to encounter a calamity which will totally destroy it. However, in the system set up by the Almighty, matters are totally different. He is seeing the Day of Judgment at the heels of this world. According to his system of measurement, the Day of Judgment is about to come. While referring to this fact, the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ is reported to have said, "I and the Day of Judgment are so near each other as two adjacent fingers are." Al-Bukhari, Al-Jami As-Sahih, Volume 5, page 2385, Hadith number 6140. Moreover, the words "Iza Yasri" subtly convey the fact that no trial should be considered a calamity which will remain forever. Just as a person witnesses the time of dawn and the disappearance of the night after its advent and observes that the Almighty only lets either of them to stay till the time that it is essential for the welfare of this world, similarly, the trials which come in the form of happiness and sorrow, ease and hardship, are meant for the mental and moral instruction and training of a person, and the Almighty only allows these trials to prevail as much as they are necessary for the training and instruction of a person. People should not become frustrated because of such trials, nor run away from them. They should in fact face them with gratitude and perseverance, and should keep hoping that hidden under every trial is some good for them. Further deliberation on the first four verses show that the oaths wal Fajri and wal Layli Iza Yasri are contrasting to one another, and the two middle oaths, wal Layalin Ashr and wal Shaf'i wal Watr, relate to two great phenomena which bear evidence to the claim referred to in the beginning and which lie in between the two contrasting elements. Since the first and last oaths occupy primary significance in these group of verses and the other two oaths are secondary in nature, thus, in order to complete this discussion, I deem it necessary to restate the claims on which the Qur'an has borne testimony on the basis of such contrasting elements of nature as day and night and darkness and light. Firstly, the Qur'an has substantiated the belief of monotheism on the basis of the contrasting elements and shown that though apparently this world and every part of it is a battlefield of conflicting elements of nature, and a natural corollary of this is that it should not have even come into existence, and even if it were able to, it should have been destroyed. However, a deep reflection shows that these conflicting elements have great harmony and accord between them. It is because of this harmony that these contrasting elements, through mutual interaction and cooperation, produce very conducive results which in fact guarantee the existence of this world. The question arises, who creates harmony between these conflicting elements? The only correct answer to this is a wise and all-knowing, powerful and sovereign being who is beyond these conflicting elements creates harmony between them and with appropriate proportion engenders concurrence and unity among them, and then makes them produce conducive results which are essential for the existence and sustenance of this world. Moreover, this being is necessarily one and only, because if there were others besides him, then there would have been a clash between his will and theirs, and this world would have been annihilated. At one place, the Qur'an refers to this aspect by the words, لَوْ كَانَ فِيهِمَا آلِهَةٌ إِلَّا اللَّهُ لَفَسَدَتَا. Were there other gods in heaven or earth besides God, both heaven and earth would have been ruined. Surah number 21, verse 22. Secondly, the Qur'an has substantiated the Day of Judgment through these contrasting elements. Briefly put, the argument of the Qur'an runs as follows. The Almighty has created everything in pairs, and everything reaches its culmination together with its counterpart. Without it, neither does it reach its culmination, nor without it can there be any comprehensible justification of its own existence. In fact, there appears to be a void and an element of incompleteness in it, because of which every discerning person would regard it to be a meaningless creation. A little deliberation would lead us to the same conclusion about this world also. If this world is not viewed together with the next, one will find a void and incompleteness in it. We find a fierce scuffle going on in it between good and evil and justice and oppression. A natural consequence of this should be that there should come a day of justice in which the Lord of the worlds, with full authority, control, and knowledge, take account from people and reward his good people and punish those who had spread disorder in this world. If without this day of accountability, this world keeps going on and then one day end, then this would mean that good and evil are alike in the eyes of the Creator, and that the creation of this world has no wisdom behind it. It is rather a purposeless creation and the playground of a merrymaker. Consequently, on this very basis, those who have denied the Day of Judgment are asked, أَفَنَجْعَلَ الْمُسْلِمِينَ كَالْمُجْرِمِينَ مَا لَكُمْ كَيْفَ تَحْكُمُونَ. Are we to treat alike the obedient and the criminals? What has come over you that you should judge so ill? Surah number 68, verses 35 and 36. Readers may take a look at the explanation of both verses of Surah Muddassir for further discussion of this topic. Thirdly, the Almighty has explained the fact that just as for the maintenance and development of man's material being, the light and heat of the day is essential, as are the darkness and coldness of the night. Similarly, for disciplining and training his moral and spiritual being, it is essential that he be made to pass through hardship and ease, discomfort and comfort, good health and disease. This would train him to be patient and express gratitude to the Almighty, and he would become worthy of being blessed with what is stated thus in Surah Fajr, Radiyatan Mardiyya, or they will be happy with their Lord and their Lord will be happy with them. The Qur'an has mentioned this wisdom behind such circumstances at various places. It is elaborated upon further down in this surah as well, and will also be discussed in the tafsir of the initial verses of Surah Duha. Fourthly, the Almighty has not let these conflicting elements go unrestrained. The reins of each object of this world are in His hands. Nothing can dare exceed the limits prescribed for it. Every object by its existence bears witness that it is not free to do whatever it likes. It is subservient to the will of God. When the night comes, it does not stay forever and deprive the creatures of God from the light of the day and the heat of the sun. In fact, it must pack up and leave at exactly the time appointed for it and make way for the light of the day. Similarly, if the sun rises at a particular time, it must set at a prescribed time. It cannot stay forever and deprive us from the serene and cool night. These observations are made by every person, and this is an obvious testimony to the fact that every object of this world is in God's control. It is He who releases and restrains it, and it is He who sets it free. An obvious corollary of this is that after witnessing the respite of the Almighty, no one, however much powerful he may be, should arrogantly reckon that he is beyond his control. When the sun, the moon, the night, and the day are not beyond his control, what mettle does man have to escape his control? This topic is discussed in the Qur'an in various styles. In Surah Qasas, it is stated, قُلْ أَرَأَيْتُمْ إِنْ جَعَلَ اللَّهُ لَكُمُ اللَّيْلَ سَرْمَدًا إِلَى يَوْمِ الْقِيَامَةِ مَنْ إِلَهٌ غَيْرُ اللَّهِ يَأْتِيكُمْ بِضِيَاءٍ أَفَلَا تَسْمَعُونَ. قُلْ أَرَأَيْتُمْ إِنْ جَعَلَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْكُمُ النَّهَارَ سَرْمَدًا إِلَى يَوْمِ الْقِيَامَةِ مَنْ إِلَهٌ غَيْرُ اللَّهِ يَأْتِيكُمْ بِاللَّيْلِ. Tell them, if Allah should enforce night upon you perpetually till the day of judgment, what other God besides Allah could bring to you even a little light? Do you not hear? Ask them, if Allah should impose on you perpetual day until the day of judgment, what other God besides Allah could bring to you even a single night? Surah number 28, verses 71 and 72. In the oaths of this surah, this particular aspect is very prominent. Hence, it should be specifically kept in consideration. هَلْ فِي ذَلِكَ قَسَمٌ لِذِي حِجْرٍ. Is there in this an evidence for a sensible person? The word hijr means intellect. The literal meaning of the word hijr and the word aql is the same. Both contain the meaning of stopping and tying up. In other words, intellect, an inner leash which restrains a person from doing things which are below his dignity. For this reason, it is also called hijr. The interrogative style of the verse creates an aura of rebuke as well as communicating the truth in a decisive manner. The implication is that when the Almighty has bestowed upon man a great blessing as intellect, it is only befitting for him to seek a lesson from the various signs scattered around him. These signs, by their very existence, are guiding man to the right path and destination. A person should thus not insist that he will only believe that those who had warned him were true in their claim when he is able to sight his destination. If he does believe at such a time, he will only end up yearning for what he cannot attain. This topic is also discussed further ahead in the surah in verses 23 and 24, where it shall be explained more. Communicating the truth in a decisive manner here means that there are several signs to which attention has been focused, but none of them could convince them. After this, those signs have been presented before them which are the most manifest and near them and contain a testimony in them for the sensible. However, these stubborn people will not benefit from them.